In the cold land in north, known as Freljord, lived a man named Brom. Brom was figured as a huge man with strong muscles that makes him look like a giant, but he was blessed with a kind heart inside of him, and he always had a smile on his face and a laugh on his lips. He mostly kept to his farm, tending his sheep and goats, and always helped people on his village whenever they are in need. Now, one day, something terrible happened. A young boy around 10 years old was climbing the mountain and happened upon a massive stone door with a shard of cruel ice at its center. When he opened the door, he couldn't believe his eyes. Beyond was a vault filled with gold and jewels, every kind of treasure he could imagine. What he didn't know was that the vault was a trap. The ice switch has cursed it, and as the girl boy entered, the magical door clanged shut behind him. It locked him inside. He tried as he might, but he couldn't escape. A passing shepherd heard the boy's cries, and then the entire village rushed to help. But even the strongest warrior couldn't open the door. The boy's parents were beside themselves. His mother's wail of grief echoed around the mountain. It seemed so hopeless. And then they heard a distant laugh. Brom had heard their cries and came striding down the mountain. The villagers told him of the troll boy and the curse. Brom smiled and nodded. He turned to the vault, faced the door. He pushed it, he pulled it, punched it, kicked it, even tried to rip it from its hinge, but the door wasn't for budging. For the first time, Brom couldn't help someone in need. For many days and nights, Brom sat on a boulder, trying to think of a solution. After all, a child's life was at stake. Then, as the sun rose on the fifth day, his eyes widened, and a bird grin lit up his face. "If I can go through the door," he said, "then I'll just have to go through the mountain." The mountain indeed. Brom headed to the summit and began punching his way straight down, pummeling his way through the stone. Fish after fish, rocks flew in his wake until he had vanished deep into the mountain.